Hey, what's up, you guys? Jeff Cohn here with another episode of the Team Building Podcast, where we interview top team leaders, broker owners, and thought leaders across the industry. We have an awesome guest today, Mr. Scott Solari. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
I bet you are. Scott's coming to us with RealSynch, and we're going to nerd out today. Everybody always is talking about the platform that Keller Williams is creating, and I want to speak to that just for a moment. Be it that we did just recently launch a market center in Omaha, Nebraska, but this is not a Keller Williams sales pitch. This is just talking technology. And you hear terms like API, integration, bridges, command, the platform. And I want to speak to this concept because I think this is a big deal moving into this 21st century. Obviously post-COVID, which I'm saying post-COVID. I know we're not post-COVID yet, but we're coming to post-COVID times. And I want to make sure that whatever investment each and every one of our listeners are making in the tech space, that there is an integration, that they have the capacity to connect different software tools, which help put you in a unique position. So, Scott, why don't we just start right off talking about RealSynch, the company that you work for, and what it is to create a bridge with an API. So let's just start with API. Everyone talks about it. No one knows what it actually is. What's an API?
Yeah, so an API is like, I'll give an example. So if you're using a CRM, let's say BoomTown, for instance, okay? BoomTown can open up their system through an API, which allows then for field mapping, like custom mapping of data that you can pull out and then push in, right? So then you just have to build a connection to do that, right? And that's what RealSynch does.
RealSynch builds bridges with companies that have APIs in a nutshell.
Exactly.
So a great example of this, I use a company called Sisu, SISU. It does all tracking, sisu.co. And RealSynch, we used RealSynch almost over a year ago, I think it's been. We built out a customized bridge, if you will, with the API with BoomTown. And I know now RealSynch has created these same bridges with a ton of other CRMs that are out there in the space. So what it's allowed us to be able to do is when my agent goes into BoomTown as our CRM and records that they made 7 calls today, it'll automatically push that data into Sisu through the bridge built by RealSynch and or in the reverse order. When the agent updates their Sisu dashboard, it'll go into the API in BoomTown and update their data on the BoomTown side.
That is correct. Jeff, you nailed it.
There it is. I think we're amazing. Done. 3 minutes. Thank you, Scott, for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So Scott and I have known each other a long time. You'll notice we're probably going to be pretty authentic and real here, and I know all of our listeners enjoy authenticity. So we've already gotten out of the gate with creating bridges and APIs. What CRMs do you work with? I know I've mentioned BoomTown. Now everyone thinks this is a Keller Williams and BoomTown promotional video. It's not. We work with, RealSynch works with everyone, pretty much. All the major players.
So right now we work with BoomTown, FirePoint, Follow Up Boss, and Real Geeks. Those are the 4 CRMs that we integrate with, so that we built connectors to their APIs. We do have a few more coming soon that are in the works. So we're going to be working with Chime to build a connector, Sierra Interactive, and then also Brivity. So very excited that those are all going to be coming soon. I'm not going to give timelines because development just takes time.
Yep.
Right. But what's great about that is, as we talked about these bridges, when you open up an API connector from, let's say, Brivity into our general code platform, then it opens up all those other applications we've already connected to, so you can connect to all those other bridges, right? And now, all of a sudden, we start talking about, everyone's like, I need the all-in-one amazing CRM, Jeff. Tell me what it is, Jeff.
It does it all. So this was the thing. So philosophically, Gary Keller and Josh Team partnered to create this platform. And the idea of the platform was to eliminate the need of having 19 different pieces of software. We have to buy the Mojo dialer and go to mojosells.com. We have to buy the CRM. We have to buy the follow-up boss system. We've got to buy 19 different things. You have 19 different players logging into 19 different sites. Let's just build the platform, which they call Command. And it does all of this. Well, what we found is there's going to continue to be so many new businesses that are going to pop up that you can't keep up, I don't think, with the demand that's going to be coming. And so even with Command, I believe there's an API that allows for these bridges to be built. So let's speak first, Scott, to our audience about what kind of bridges you have built for different companies. I know I already mentioned Sisu, which does dashboards and gamification and helps with analytics, GCI, gross commission income, time, GCI, ROI, ROT, all of those different things. What are some of the other bridges that are out there?
So some of the other, I'm sorry, Jeff. A hawk literally just landed outside my window and it freaked me out.
Turn the camera.
Oh my God, it flew away.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Anyway, so some of the other bridges, so we connect the sky slope, dot loop, viral marketing. So if you send out videos, we can integrate with that into your CRM. Conversion Monster, Structurally, Ylopo, EvaBot, which is a gift giving assistant, Relevate, VoicePad, Salesforce, and Showcase IDX.
Okay.
So you can see that we've built a ton of connectors, but there's a million applications out there, right?
Yep.
And we can build to all of them if they have an API, whether it's private or open or public. So it doesn't matter as long as we can get access to it. And so we're always developing. It's just a matter of, development costs, right?
Sure.
So it's just a matter of whether or not how much a development would mean to somebody that comes in and wants to work with us to do a custom development, because we do that as well.
Sure. So today I wanted to focus on one of the most recent launches that we're currently beta testing right now. It's the first time I ever saw this was about a month ago, and Scott showed me and I said, that is really cool. I want that. How do we sign up? And he said it was in beta test. So we've been helping develop this. And essentially, if you don't mind me stealing the thunder, Scott,
please.
It allows you to access your CRM. And for us, it's BoomTown. Scott will speak to what all is connected right now. But essentially, you can access your CRM through an extender in your Google account. So if my agent was emailing someone from their CrossFit group and that person emails them back and says, hey, we're actually thinking about selling our house, in that email thread, they could open the extender and add the person as a lead right there, say where the lead source was from, create a to-do, all of the functionality you ultimately would have inside your CRM, you now have outside of your CRM in the extender inside of Google Chrome associated with your Google account. How did I do?
You did great. You did great. And Jeff, what's interesting too is like the timing with this thing is like now more than ever, just because of the whole COVID and people are at their computers, right? They're communicating people through Zoom, or they're doing other things where they're not necessarily meeting as many people in person as they used to be. Now you're in your Gmail, you hit the Google plugin, literally the functionality of your CRM is right there. You can update the contact record or add a new contact record. And even with certain CRMs like BoomTown, you can decide to track some of the email communication into BoomTown into a note, as they would say, in that activity feed. So you're essentially getting all the functionality that you would have without having to go into the CRM, and hopefully create some efficiency in your business with your agents.
So what CRMs are you currently
free, right?
What are you currently building bridges with right now?
So we're doing this with the 4 CRMs that we have, but then once we have the other CRMs as well coming, this will work with that as well. And then the next steps will be to build, we're calling like a bot, but basically build this plugin for our transaction coordination systems too. So like SkySlope, Dot Loop, if you can have that pop up in your Gmail and make updates to that right there too. Woo! You're doing everything right in your Gmail. You're not having to jump around, right? And then in addition to that, I totally just spaced it.
No worries.
But yes, what I was going to say was, and hopefully, KW Command decides to use an integration partner such as us.
Yeah.
And we can have that available for KW Command as well, which would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Well, it's nice. So I know the biggest struggle that I think team leaders and brokers experience is that they have all these really amazing tools and less than 10% of their agents take advantage of those tools. So by creating an extender where you're placing the CRM in the very place where an agent's spending a majority of their time, which is on their computer, in their Gmail. I think a lot of agents are going to be inside, in there every single day. They're not necessarily going to log into CSU every day like they should, or into their CRM every day like they should. So why would you not create an extension like this? I'm actually surprised some of these CRM companies haven't done it yet. And I'm really excited to be beta testing it because I know it's going to make it easier for my agents to add leads, update their leads. And like you mentioned earlier, if you start an email exchange in Gmail, that email exchange is now going to be saved on the CRM side. So you can go in and access all the email exchanges you've had with that particular lead, and all of that data is kept inside of the CRM. So it's pretty cool. So how would someone find out more information about any of this stuff?
Just go to realsynch.com. So REAL sync, SYNCH.com. And you can jump around, click on the partners. You can see all the apps that we integrate with. And then you also just click get started. And then Yeah, so that's what you want to do. And then we are going to expand eventually. Some people use, Microsoft Office, right? Or maybe Outlook. And we are going to expand the plugin to those services. And there's only one I've seen out there, Jeff, with Salesforce called Cirrus Insight. That is the only type of Gmail plugin that I've seen that kind of the functionality is similar to what we're building right now in beta testing. But that's just with Salesforce.
Okay. Be sure when you check out with any product at RealSync that you use our discount code that we make available to all of our listeners by just putting in the word ELITE, ELITE, and you'll either get a discounted price or a discounted setup fee, some type of a return for you choosing to put in the word ELITE, ELITE. And that was a deal Scott was willing to offer to all of our awesome listeners. So, Scott, any other cool tech tips or anything else you want to share with the audience? And once you do that, I am going to share the coolest tech that we have recently launched at kwElite in Omaha in the last 7 days. And I've never talked about this on a podcast before. So stay tuned. And I have an actual card I'm going to show you guys. It's pretty cool. So any other tech topics or bridges or APIs or anything else you want to get into today?
No, I mean, obviously, as we discussed, when you hear integration, it gets confusing. But bottom line is when you want data in and out of your systems, you need to have an integration partner, whether it's us or somebody else, right? And that way you create this all-in-one that we always talk about, Jeff, and you can't keep up. I have people that I've spoken to that have tried to do this on their own, spent millions of dollars and wasted millions of dollars because by the time they finish one product in development, there's 3 more that came out that they can't keep up with, right? Yep. So this is the way to keep up, to have integration.
A piece of software with an API so that you can go partner with the best of the best, and you can be good at one or two things. I mean, read the one thing. Gary wrote it. Most businesses are really great at one thing, and all the other things you can outsource. You don't have to be great at everything.
Yeah, speak of the devil. You are amazing at outsourcing.
There you go.
Done that.
That's my one thing.
You had to. You've had
leverage.
To.
Yes,
exactly.
All right, so here's what I'm excited to share about. So we're in my new podcast station. My kids are doing Zoom calls every day, so I came downstairs to have some privacy. I'm in my basement, and I'm in my virtual reality room. So I've been talking a lot about VR. I have 2 sets of HTC Vive Pro wireless headsets, 2 computers that run the VR solution, and I've been practicing, playing with, and becoming a professional/expert at virtual reality. So 6 degrees of freedom is virtual reality that allows you to physically walk a digital space, but as you advance your physical presence throughout a room, you move throughout the virtual render. So my company, Verly, VRLY, that stands for virtual reality, getverly.com is the website. We're creating 3D renders as well as 6 degree of freedom renders for people that have never built a house. We're also creating Matterport experiences that are beyond what Matterport in and of itself offers through a branded landing page that essentially gives you a Matterport video like everyone knows Matterport today, which is 3 degrees of freedom, as well as a video, including a drone flyover, drone fly through, all this extra stuff. So if you want more information about Verly, go to getverly.com to learn more about that. Where I'm doing something unique, and I'll share a few of these steps, and everybody should start doing this today, especially with what's going on with COVID and everything. When we go on a listing presentation, we bring along with us a pair of Oculus Go goggles and or Google Cardboard goggles. You can Google either of those things or Amazon, either of those things, and you'll find Google Cardboard costs $15 or cheaper, and Oculus Go goggles cost about $150. The HTC Vive Pro goggles that give you 6 degree of freedom, the ones behind me cost $1,700. So we bring with us the $150 pair to show our sellers what a 3D tour looks like, because we provide a Matterport video on every single listing. But instead of bringing the Oculus Go, because a lot of agents don't even want to invest $150, we're buying a $15 pair of Google Cardboard that we leave with every seller. So on the listing presentation, we say, hey, we're going to get a Matterport video for you. We're going to create a video, a 3D tour, all this cool stuff with a custom landing page that you can point all your friends to. On the sign, we create a text number or a QR code with a redirect to this landing page, called a branded landing page for the agent that showcases the house. And for the seller, we leave them, we show them an example on their phone. We load the app on Google Cardboard. It takes 2 minutes to show them an example of what their house will look like. Then when their house goes live, they can actually experience it. And just today, I got a box of 1,000 of these cards that have NFC chips in them. So when someone lists a house with a kwElite agent, they'll receive in the mail 2 of these cards. And when they scan this against any of their friends or family's phones, it's going to populate a link to their branded page of their listing. Because what does someone want to talk about when they take a new listing? They want to talk about the pictures, the video, the cool tech, the great agent that they chose to partner with. So everyone that lists with us gets Google Cardboard, so they can actually walk property if they are buying, or look at their own property in 3D if they have a Verly attached to it or the Matterport experience. And then we send them these NFC cards that they can just literally tap to their friend's phone, and it lands them right on the seller's listing that's branded with kwElite, giving them their 3D tour. I haven't seen anyone in the country doing this. I thought this up while I was in Hawaii, just kind of thinking about if I was a seller, what I would want from my agent. And I've always followed that golden rule: do unto others as you'd like others to do unto you. And it's taken us to the next level. So we're always focused on technology. We'll report back and let everybody know how this whole campaign goes. But I think it separates us from everybody else and puts us in that 99th percentile and gives the consumer exactly what they want.
Jeff, that is slick, man. That
cool.
Hawaii trip did you well.
There we go.
Sometimes people don't have time to sit back and think, right?
Great
Sometimes
space.
That's what you need to do.
So we're going to be doing this. We'll probably list 500 houses this year from our brokerage. Every house will get a Verly Matterport video. Every house will get QR code riders. Every house will get 25 just listed cards, 25 just sold cards. Every seller will receive 2 NFC cards that they get to scan into their friends' phones. And we'll report back in about 6 months and let everybody know how this campaign's going. What's awesome is it's all trackable. I'll get to see how many times people scan the codes. I'll see how many times people scan the cards. And we'll get to see how much people are interacting with that content. And just making it easier for the consumer and making it fun, and being tech savvy and a leader in our industry is always our focus. Real quick, for anyone that's hung out with us up to this point, we would love for you to give a shout out to Scott and thank him for his time today. If you go out to iTunes, we're looking to get up to about 1,000 reviews. I think we're at 100 right now. So if you'd go give us a 5-star review, give a shout out to Scott with RealSync. If you learned anything new today about APIs and bridges, I know this is a really sexy topic. I had fun, Scott.
I always have fun with you, Jeff. And I appreciate you being on. I appreciate your listeners. You can reach out to me directly as well, Scott@realsync.com, if you have any questions or just want to chat. We're here to help you, build that all-in-one solution through integration and really help save your time, help save your agents a lot of time and efficiency and errors and double data entry and all these things that you get benefits of when you have integration and you don't have to have your agents going into 10 different systems.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll continue to beta test this extender for those that aren't ready to be an early adopter and don't want to dive in and you want to give it a few more months. We'll come back. We'll have Scott back on in a couple months from now, and we'll talk a little bit more about what new projects RealSync's working on and get an update as to how those extenders are working and what new CRM companies you're building bridges for.
Awesome.
Hey, be sure when you check out, if you are going to go out to RealSync, be sure to use the code ELITE, E-L-I-T-E, to receive a discount through RealSync for whatever product it is that you choose to partner with. Thanks again, Scott. Appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks, Jeff.